Hi guys, it is Monday, October 23rd, and I'm so happy to be sitting down today. If you're not new on my channel, I made a video when I newly turned 16, which was titled 16 Things I Learned at 16. And when I look back on that video, it is still one of my favorites that I've ever made. I obviously love documenting my life for you guys and being entertaining, but more than that, I really want my channel to be a place where I can help you guys in some way, shape, or form. Sometimes I get sidetracked with just posting vlogs. I'm like, wait a minute, we gotta do more than just that. So with that being said, I wanted to do a spin on the 16 things I learned at 16 and make that 20 because I recently turned 20, recently being like 2 months ago, but who's counting? Time flies. And obviously there's so much that changes from when you turn 16 to when you turn 20. And obviously back when I turned 16, I thought I knew so much, but I feel like you really are, like, okay, not to say I'm not still a child, like I'm still so young, but I definitely just feel like so much self-growth and evolvement takes place, especially during college time. Now I'm a sophomore in college, so I feel like I've experienced a lot this first year and a half-ish. Overall, I'm a very changed person, and my credentials for talking about what I've learned definitely have improved. Also, with everything going on in the world, I feel like it's so important to take a step back and just reevaluate your own personal life. With all that being said, here are 20 things that I have picked up and learned throughout the past 20 years of my life. Starting with number 1, who you are becoming is way more important than who you have been. I don't even know where to begin with this one. You would be lying to yourself if you said you were the same person as you were in kindergarten, let's say. Obviously, that's not what we're referring to. In the past, we've all made mistakes. We're humans, so that's a part of life. But you have to remember that those mistakes that you've made in the past don't define who you are. You also just have to come to terms with the fact that not everybody's gonna know who you are as a person now. If somebody knew you in the past and they have this set notion of who you are, if you guys aren't in each other's lives anymore, let them believe what they want about you, because as long as you know you're changing and you're doing what you can to be a better person in whatever way that may be, that's all that matters. I don't claim who I was in high school, and I'm sure so many people that I was friends with or like associated with in high school probably think I'm that same person, and like that's fine because I know I'm a changed person and I'm a better person. If you're not happy with who you were in the past, there's literally nothing stopping you from changing and becoming a better version of yourself, or the version of yourself that you want. Instead of looking 5 years in the past of who you were, think of who you can be 5 years in the future. Number 2, temporary pain that leads to ultimate peace is always worth going through. I feel like it's a known thing amongst the internet that I went through it this year in so many different ways, but choosing peace for yourself is always going to be the best route, even if it seems like the hardest decision to make in the moment. For example, let's say you're with a guy, you like him so much, but he's absolutely horrible to you and you know that. The temporary pain of leaving him and getting used to not having him in your life again is gonna be hard, but at the end of the day, you're gonna be doing what's right for you because you're gonna remove what's not meant for you and eventually get something better to come in. A personal example of that is obviously gonna be me transferring. Last year, it was one of the hardest things I decided to do because I had my mindset on staying at my last school for 4 years. I was really excited on it, but it was just not meant for me. Obviously, in the moment, it sucked and I didn't know if I was doing the right thing, but here I am months later and I'm happier than I could ever be, and that wouldn't have been possible if I didn't take the leap and go through the sadness of having to say bye. A lot of these things are just very reflective. Like, you can stay where you are and then in a year from now be in the same position, or you can let go of what's not serving you and in a year look back and be like, wow, I feel great and I'm in a better place because I let go of that. You have to prioritize your peace. It's your life. Doesn't matter how many friends you have, how many family members love you. It's just you and you at the end of the day. Take care of yourself. Number 3, life's timing is everything. You need to trust that where you are is where you are meant to be. Once again, easier said than done, I know. It is so easy to compare where you are to where Billy next to you is. I can look at other 20-year-olds and be like, oh my God, they did this, they did that, and I haven't done anything close to that. Or the person next to me can look at me and be like, oh, she's doing all of this, why haven't I done any of that yet? You have to realize that everybody is on their own life path. There's no right or wrong time to do absolutely anything. There are some people that don't graduate college up until they're 30. But ultimately, trust where you are, even if you're going through a rough thing. Rough moments only lead you to become stronger. Just don't compare where you are in your life with anybody else, even if it's your best friend, even if it's where your parents were at your age. It doesn't matter, because they're their own people. They had their own experiences. You're going through your own things for a reason. The timing of everything is so important. None of these points emphasize gratitude, but I just think that you have to be so grateful for everything in your life, for the good and the bad, because it's all going to benefit you in the end. And in case you guys aren't aware, this little side tangent, but I actually do have a podcast with Sophia. We're going on a little break because we're changing some things, fixing things up, but we did have an episode about, I think it was like a birthday episode and growing up, whatever. I just think the whole episode connects to right timing and all of that. So if you guys want to go check that out and just as a whole, check out the podcast. It's Did So You Don't on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Number 4, I absolutely love this one, and that is a smile on your face holds so much power. If you know me in real life, I feel like I just carry myself to be a very happy person, and I'm so proud of that. I'm not always happy, I'm not always smiling, but naturally I love exuding happy energy. When you portray yourself as being open and friendly, it's gonna attract so many better things in people than if you're just walking around like you're better than everyone. Even if you're going through a rough day, you don't know who walking by could also be having a rough day, and like just giving them a smile is gonna do so much for them. I love it. When I'm walking down the street and someone smiles at me, I'm like, if I pass somebody and we make eye contact, I'm gonna give them a smile, and when they smile back, it's the best feeling. Like, I know you guys know the feeling. And the worst feeling is when you're smiling at a girl or at anybody and they just give you that face back. Don't be that person. Number 5, forgetting what you feel is essential to understanding what you deserve. Before I say anything else, this is coming from the most emotional person you will ever meet. I've said this so many times on my channel, and you guys probably know because I cry so often, but I'm gonna put it into perspective. Let's say someone does something to you that hurts you so bad, but you want to be with them so bad, or you like them so much. You have to put your attachment and sadness towards that person to the side to realize that you deserve more than what they're giving you. This kind of ties back into one of the first points I've made. You need to put those emotions to rest if the person you're sad about is disrespecting you. Like in the past, I have literally felt trapped in my emotions, and I'm just like, I have to do this, I have to do that because I'm so sad, because I'm so attached to this, because of all of that. But now I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, this isn't serving me. No matter how sad I am about it, I need to put myself on the pedestal and realize that me begging or trying to fix something that isn't worth fixing is not going to solve anything. Respect yourself more than the other person disrespects you. And I know this sounds like very relationship oriented, but it could be with anything in life. And then on that note, number 6 is you will never have to ask the right person to treat you right. This can be family members, relationships, friends, absolutely anything. If somebody truly wants to treat you right, they will. There's no reason for somebody who loves you or cares about you to be making you feel any way besides good. And that literally, point blank period, I feel like that one's so self-explanatory. If someone's always been bad to you and you're used to that, then obviously you're not gonna know anything different and you're just gonna accept it. No matter how many times somebody tells you they love you or care about you, if they're not showing that, no. And on another note, you shouldn't have to like hold on to like the good actions of people because they fluctuate. You know what I mean? Like if someone's like sometimes good to you, sometimes bad to you, obviously relationships, friendships, everything has their ups and downs, but it shouldn't be like one-sided, somebody doing something intentionally to hurt you. Like people know what they're doing. Whether you believe it or not, like if somebody does something, you're like, no, like he didn't mean to. It's like, bro, he knew what he was doing. And a lot of the time people know the power they have over us. So if they just like continuously do stuff to you to show you that they're just neglecting the way you feel, hello, let's reevaluate that, because you will just never have to ask the right people to treat you right. Number 7 is another one that I am very passionate about, and that is other people's beauty does not take away from your own. This is another topic that Sophia and I discussed on our podcast. Once again, go check it out. Especially in today's day and age, social media is like the biggest factor in this, which is so bad. It's so dangerous. It's so toxic, but just the constant comparison to everything you see online, everyone you see online, or even in person, doesn't matter. Here at UF, there are pretty girls left and right. I swear, the only way you can go about your life contently is when you feel fulfilled with yourself and know that your beauty is, first of all, unique, and second of all, somebody else next to you being beautiful does not take away from your beauty. If you see yourself as a 10 and then you see somebody else that's a 10, just because you see them as a 10 doesn't mean that now you drop to an 8. No. You're still a 10, they're a 10, everybody's a 10. Doesn't matter. Confidence comes from within, and external validation is not what you need to learn to love yourself. If your friend is always getting attention from other people, that doesn't mean that you're not equally as beautiful as her, or whatever the case may be. First of all, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Me and my friends all look so different, and obviously we attract different people into our lives, and that's perfectly fine, because why would I want to look just like them? Like, all my friends are stunning, obviously, but my point is, why would you want to look like anybody else? Because The reason you're so beautiful is because of your uniqueness. I used to struggle with this so much, as I feel like most girls do. Growing up, constantly compare myself to other people, which is so easy. Like, I say don't do it, but that doesn't mean that I don't do it, but I'm getting better at it. And obviously learning to love yourself is a process. Definitely give yourself self-love. Look in the mirror, tell yourself something you like every single day. Number 8 is something so important to understand, and that is people will always have something to say about you no matter what. I most definitely have learned this. It's one thing to know that this is true, and it's another thing to understand it and be okay with it. You can try to be the most perfect, nice, kind person. You can be nice to absolutely everybody, and I promise you there will still be somebody that will have something to say about it. I don't know anybody who wants to be disliked. So for the longest time I thought that if someone didn't like me, or if somebody had something to say about me, I was doing something all wrong and I had to fix that and I had to change who I was. If your actions are led from a place of kindness and love, you do things with good intention, then no matter what anybody has to say about it, it doesn't matter. I was hated by many at my old school. Did I ever do anything intentionally to hurt anybody? No, I did not. And I can say that with so much confidence because it's astonishing, like looking back on everything. I laugh now, but as much as I could joke about it, it sucks. It sucks knowing that people don't like you. Once again, it leads back to having the self-worth and like knowing within and feeling fulfilled within to know that no matter how many people dislike you, how many people think you're a horrible person, if you know yourself you're a good person, then that's all that matters. It's exhausting trying to fill the mold that everybody wants you to be or everybody expects you to be, or if you're not this, then they don't like you. Like, it's exhausting trying to fill that. Just let people who don't like you not like you. There's no point in convincing them otherwise because more than likely they're not going to change their mind. You are you and you own it, and life goes on. Number 9, being emotional is beautiful. Like I said, I'm such an emotional person and I used to fault myself so much for that. Like, I used to be like, why do I feel the way I feel? Why do I feel everything 10 times more than the next person would? Why do I cry over everything? Now, I'm so grateful for that. It's such a good thing that you're able to feel, because let's say you feel pain to the extent you do, great. That means you're gonna feel love and good feelings that same degree. And you should never let anybody make you feel bad about feelings. Like, it's more normal to be emotional than to not be. Not saying that if you're not, you're weird. You know what I'm saying. Number 10, learn to be your own best friend. Being comfortable with hanging out with yourself and doing things alone is so important. I feel like once you can master that, you are set for life. Not to say that you can't actually have best friends and people in your life that you love spending time with, because that's so important too, and I have that too. Once you're able to go to the grocery store alone, go to Starbucks alone, it just holds so much power because you're comfortable with yourself and spending time with yourself. You don't rely on anybody else to fill you and make you happy. I think I fully learned to do this within the past few years, but especially now. Like, if my 16-year-old self were to see me like going to the library alone, just sitting places in public alone, I'd be mortified. I'd be like, oh my god, I look like I have no friends. No, bro. There's just absolutely nothing wrong with enjoying time to yourself, but also don't get too comfortable with being alone because having people is also really important. But number 11, this is something that I am still working on every day, but I have this mindset, and that is to let the unknown excite you rather than scare you. If I sat around and thought about my future and would just think about like all the things that could go wrong or how things could end up in a bad way, what is that going to do for me? Absolutely nothing. That is just going to scare me, and that's going to give me anxiety, and it's going to heighten unnecessary emotions for no reason. What I like to do is think positively and think, okay, oh my gosh, in 6 months from now, what if Just think of all the good things that could be. What if in 6 months from now I am more successful than I've ever been? What if in 6 months from now I accomplish something crazy? You know what I mean? There's so many good things that you can look forward to rather than being like, what if in 6 months from now I am a college dropout? Like, no, who thinks that? Who thinks like that? I mean, I'm sure some people do and it's not their fault, but there's no need for that. Don't give yourself a reason to stress when there are no factual reasons to stress. When I see somebody else doing something that I want or experiencing something that I want or anything like that, I look at it as motivation rather than jealousy. I'm like, oh my God, they got that, they did that, they're doing that. What if in 6 months, that's me? That's so obtainable. If you believe it, you will achieve it. So I look at people doing all their things and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so excited for that to be me. Number 12, silence is so much louder than words. And on that note, like, no response is a response. You hold so much power in your silence. Of course, circumstances differ. If somebody disrespects you, it's so much more powerful to let them do what they do. Done. They don't deserve to hear another word from you. And that also goes the other way around. Let's say you are trying to fix something and this person is not giving you the time of day, not giving you the response. You know where you stand with them. Like, you don't need to hear a response, because their silence and their inability to give you what you need tells you enough about where they stand. Number 13, you aren't an option. Let people choose you or lose you. I'm pretty sure I saw let people choose you or lose you on TikTok, and that one just really stuck with me, because life is way too short to be hanging around people that don't appreciate you for you. Cutting people out of your life is never gonna be easy, but why spend your life trying so hard to make somebody treat you right, be a good friend, be a good partner, whatever, when somebody else will do it for you, no questions asked. So if somebody is making you feel like an option, making you feel like you're not worthy of receiving what you want, let them lose you. Also, the thing is, more likely than not, if you know you were a good person to somebody and they lose you in their life, they are not gonna forget it. I promise you that. If that's what's holding you back from letting go of somebody that's not doing you right, I promise you they're gonna look back at you and be like, wow, she was or he, whoever's watching this, was a good, genuine person and I wronged them. They will always think about it. And it always starts from the root of your intentions. If your intentions are good, people will know it. Whether it takes a year, 10 years, 2 weeks, they will know that they messed up and that they lost you. And it's never your loss, it's theirs. Thank you. Number 14 is, if it's out of your control, let it be. If you're someone like me and you need everything to be planned out, structured, the way you vision it has to be the way it happens, that's gonna eat you alive. And that's what has happened to me so much in the past. But when things don't go your way and they're out of your control, you need to let them be. There's a lot of things in life that you just can't change. Number 15, I absolutely love, and that is, you are your best when you feel your best. This encompasses absolutely every aspect of life, whether it's what you wear, your makeup, what you eat, everything. Like, what you do for yourself is gonna make such a big difference in the way you go about your day-to-day life. I look back on the way I looked in high school, and it also takes time to learn what flatters you, what makes you feel good, what makes you look good. I feel like in high school, I didn't even give myself the time of day to realize that the way I was portraying myself was so like messy. Like, I look at myself and I was just like, ew, I really let myself go. And what I mean by this too is that other people are gonna tell you, oh, you look good in this, you look good in that. But when you do what you think you look good in, let's say you love your hair slicked back like I do. I don't care if other people don't think I look good in slicked back. I feel good in slicked back and I feel confident when I slick back my hair. It just makes me feel good and put together, so I do it. Don't wear things to please other people. Don't wear things to attract other people. Wear things that make you confident, because when you're confident, other people will be able to feel that, and that will ultimately attract the right people. Let's say you're wearing some dress that you're not too confident in, but you're like, okay, this will reel the boys in. You're gonna end up attracting the wrong guys. You're gonna feel uncomfortable all night, but let's say you're drawn to wearing something else. Wear that, because you're gonna feel good, and then you're gonna attract the right things. Number 16, surround yourself with people that add to you, not take away from you, especially friends. Friendships are the biggest one of this. But if you're with people that drain you or take away from your energy, if you're up here and they're bringing you down here, they gotta go. If you're with people that constantly have something negative to say about you or make you feel bad, or let's say you're having a really good day and they have to bring you down about it, something good happens to you and they can't be happy for you, absolutely cut them out of your life. And sometimes you can be blinded by it, like in the moment you don't realize that it's what's happening. But then once you eventually realize and let those people out of your life, you are just gonna feel a breath of fresh air. This is also in terms of people that have no self-motivation or just are doing bad things with their life. That doesn't mean they're bad people, but it's gonna ultimately affect you whether you realize it or not. You most definitely are who you surround yourself with. 17, it's not your responsibility to fix bonds you didn't break. In life, you're gonna have people that come in, a chapter, a lesson, or you know that saying, what is it? Season or a reason. No, wait. Something like that. Not everybody that comes into your life is gonna stay there. There's a reason for that. So if somebody ruins their relationship with you, it's not your place to fix it. The falling out wasn't on your doing, then there's no reason for you to overcompensate and do the fixing for both ends. If somebody does something wrong to you and they truly care to fix it, it's on them to fix it. And that goes the same way. If you do someone dirty, don't expect them to fix it. That's on you. Number 18, trust your gut. I am so in tune. It is creepy how many times I've had a gut instinct about something and it has come out to be true. I know some of my friends are gonna be watching this and they're gonna be like, yep, I know exactly what you're talking about. But don't confuse anxiety with a gut instinct, because it's so easy to like think the worst in situations and be like, oh my God, like this is happening. I feel like you can really tell the difference between like a gut instinct and just like overthinking things. Obviously I overthink too, but I can tell the difference between like, no, this is what's happening versus like, oh, could this be happening? No. The gut instinct will speak to you, but if something really doesn't feel right, trust it, because there's no reason for something that's like supposed to be in your life to be causing you that much stress. Things that aren't meant to be in your life are going to cause unwell feelings. Number 19 took me forever to learn, and it is one of the most important things. Move in silence and let your success do the talking. This isn't even just about the things you do in life. It is so important to realize that you don't know who you're talking to and you don't know what intentions people have with what you're telling them. I understand that you can be excited about going on a trip or having a job opportunity or getting into a new relationship, but I would not go around spreading the news to absolutely everybody, because they could be wishing you so bad. There's just no need for you to be telling everybody your plans and your feelings. This is especially for the younger people out there, but please don't post yourself crying on your private stories. And I'm allowed to say this because I was the number one offender of this. Like in middle school, even beginning of high school, I would literally post the most dramatic things to get people's attentions, and it's just such a bad look. Like, I don't care who broke your heart, I don't care who did you dirty, don't post it, please. Especially on social media. It is so easy to have people with bad intentions watching your every move. Even I try to protect my peace because I don't know who's watching my stuff. I don't know what people are thinking about me. So just move in silence, trust. And 20, I absolutely have to be cliche for number 20. And that is, everything happens for a reason. Don't attack me when I say this, because obviously life can suck sometimes. Things happen that you absolutely don't understand why there's a reason for it to happen. I know, I get it, I've been there. But at the end of the day, in the conclusion of any situation, you will realize why things happen the way they did. I'm even in situations now where I'm like, why is this happening? Like, this shouldn't happen. But I'm trusting the fact that everything happens the way it's supposed to. That wraps up the 20 things I've learned at 20. I really hope you guys enjoy. I just feel really passionate about wanting to do more. I might be manic right now, I don't know, but I just feel like my mindset about life has come such a long way from where it used to be. I want you guys, or as many of you guys, to see things the same way I do. That sounds so culty. In the most loving way possible, because perspective is everything in life. Mindset is everything. Going about your day, you can be in the worst depressive state. Like, I promise you guys, I'm not all sunshines and rainbows all the time, but when I look at the bigger picture and I'm like, why am I feeling this? It just changes so much, and it makes sad moments so much easier. You realize that you're not going to be stuck in that place forever. There's not much else I have to say. Subscribe if you're new. Be sure to follow me on TikTok and Instagram. And with all that being said, I love you guys so much, and I will see you very soon. Bye.